For all of you World War II history buffs, or those just simply intrigued about the events of D-Day, which started off the battle for Normandy, I spent a full day at the Normandy beaches, including visiting this location at Longnes-sur-Mer, which holds, actually in pretty good condition, as you can see, the original naval guns, placements for the Germans in their German bunkers. The bunkers were, as you can see, they're like brand new. The bombing that took place leading up to the invasion actually hit this area but completely missed the emplacements. There was one highly damaged bunker, but that bunker's damage actually came from an internal explosion from one of the naval gun emplacements that was in the bunker. But this area here was pretty remarkable to see in Normandy, and just about a half a mile, if that, further towards the coast, there was an observation bunker too, which you'll see here in a minute. Again, both in pristine condition. The liberation of Paris, and quite honestly, the beginning of the end of World War II took place right here. In this video, I go over a few different things: the Overlord Museum, Omaha Beach, Pointe du Hoc, and of course right here at Longnes-sur-Mer. It was a very humbling experience being here. The last place I visited was the American Cemetery at Omaha Beach. But it was a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day here in Normandy, France. This right here is the observation bunker, which just overlooks the sea. It's probably 25 yards behind me. But this was pretty incredible, again, in perfect condition, really. Walking into this area, I had to take a drastic stoop down in order to get in. Imagine looking over that on June 6, 1944, and seeing that fleet out there in the ocean. It would have been pretty remarkable and pretty frightening. I found this little area. Nobody went in it, but I decided I would check it out. It was full of water, so I couldn't get very far in. But I believe it was used for ammunition storage. It's pretty incredible. Here at the Normandy beach. It's pretty. If we look off to the distance over here, see way, way, way out there. Those cliffs way out there. That's Pointe du Hoc. Omaha Beach is tucked in behind that hill there, and the cliffs that we see there. Bunkers. 4 bunkers here. One of them is destroyed. The other 3 remain. The one that is destroyed, though, was not destroyed due to the aerial bombardment, but was actually due to a munitions fault by the Germans. So Longnes-sur-Mer was situated on a 60-meter high cliff, like I said, overlooking the sea, and it formed part of Germany's Atlantic Wall, the coastal fortifications. It was located kind of between Gold and Omaha Beach. On June 7th, it was captured. Another video of one of the rear ends of the casements. And these are all open to the public. You can just walk through here and do your own investigating, which is pretty remarkable. In the car, taking a drive to the next location here.
Sometimes you can see the cows on the apple
So
trees.
here, arriving at Omaha Beach. So Omaha Beach was one of the 5 beach landing sectors that were designated for the assault of Operation Overlord. Omaha referred to basically an 8-kilometer, 5-mile section of the coast that I'm standing on of France, facing the English Channel. The landings here were obviously necessary to link up those 5 to the Gold, with the American landing to the west at Utah. So it kind of provided a continuous lodgement on the Normandy coast of the Bay of Seine. Omaha's responsibility was the United States and only the United States. They had sea transport, mine sweeping, obviously a naval bombardment prior and during the landings by the United States Navy, Coast Guard, and also British, Canadian, and Free French navies contributed to the bombings to help our troops. Anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 men lost their lives here on this beachhead. Between Omaha Beach and Pointe du Hoc is the Overlord Museum, which I have been to several World War II museums, including the World War II Museum in New Orleans. But this place is something special. It's not very big, but what they have there was pretty remarkable, both from the American side and the German side. Including this tank. They had several German tanks that I've never seen anything like it. This is a Panther tank, as you can see. Treads are gone, but outside of that, that's what it was. So this was basically built up over 50 years or so, this museum. A lot of it was salvaged. Some of it was purchased from the Normandy battlefield. So everything from reconnaissance planes, V-1 flying bombs that were there. There were more than 10 armored fighting vehicles, including this Panzer. 30 soft-skin vehicles are there. They had all kinds of artillery pieces that you'll see, old posters, memorabilia, signs, documents, little personal objects that were here. A lot of the restoration of the vehicles were done prior to being put into the museum, but accurately equipped and painted, as you could see in that past video. Some of the vehicles developed for the war were unique, as the factories and companies that made them, quite honestly, no longer exist. So kind of preserving the past technologies is part of the, I guess, sort of realized by the Overlord Museum in Omaha Beach. Some of the uniforms actually are real from all the combatants during the 1944 campaign in Normandy. This was a really interesting area. It was a memorial of actual D-Day, biographies by individuals that participated in the battle. It was a very, very neat little memorial here. So if you're ever in this area, certainly visit the Overlord Museum. So this, of course, is the Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial in Colville-sur-Mer, France. This honors the American troops who died in Normandy in Europe in the Second World War. It actually is located on the site of a former temporary battlefield cemetery of Saint Laurent. This cemetery holds 9,388 burials. This little section you see here was dedicated to soldiers whose bodies were not found. This was a great little part of the cemetery, very detailed, showing information about the invasion from British, French, and American, Canadian points of view. Detailed. It was really, really neat to see this. I had no idea that the cemetery contained this level of history. The cemetery was dedicated in 1956 and is the most visited cemetery of those that are maintained by the American Battle Monuments Commission. That statue right there is the Spirit of American Youth Rising from the Waves, which is a solid bronze statue. As you saw before, the cemetery contains 2 poles, flag poles. Again, a picture here of the memorial part. This area, I'm actually walking towards the beaches. And there was a map here that again detailed the information about the invasion. And there's Omaha Beach. It's hard to explain how I felt being there. Obviously, it's a cemetery. Definitely an emotional day, just taking in what actually happened there and the lives that were lost and the commitment to freedom and the sacrifice made to have the country that we have today. And quite honestly, Europe wouldn't be what Europe is today without what took place on D-Day in the Battle for Normandy. So I'm here at what is considered to be one of the most famous battles of Normandy, and that is the battle that took place at Pointe du Hoc. These holes you see in the ground are actual craters from the bombs that were dropped by the pre-Allied invasion. But basically, 100 U.S. Army Rangers scaled 100-foot cliffs to seize the German artillery pieces that could have been or were firing on the American troops that were landing at Omaha in Utah. So this was pretty formidable, the defenses in this area. They had 155 millimeter artillery positions at Pointe du Hoc. Lieutenant Colonel James E. Rutter commanded the 2nd Ranger Battalion. And at 6:30 a.m. on June 6, 1944, they scaled the 100-foot cliffs to disable the German positions. The 5th Ranger Battalion followed to reinforce them. But the naval bombardment on Pointe du Hoc began with gunships, battleships like the USS Texas. There were 3 companies, 70 men per company, that were to land at 6:30. The Germans did previously move their 155 millimeter howitzers out of here, which we did not know. After 2 days of fighting, about 90 Rangers stood when they were relieved by Schneider's Rangers and the 29th Division from Omaha Beach. But the monument consists, that you see, of a simple granite pylon right here that is positioned atop a German concrete bunker. The tablets at its base are inscribed in both French and English. Walking into these bunkers was just unreal. And what was explained to me is the battle scarring on the ground, the craters, etc., is pretty much the remains from what the way the Rangers left it in June 7th, 1944. Coming here was something I always wanted to do pretty much my entire life. While I spent a lot of time in Paris, the real reason I came to France was to visit the Normandy beaches. It was a day I'll never forget. Obviously the door still worked. You know, I don't make these videos for likes or for comments or for followers. I honestly just make them to share my travels, and maybe somebody can appreciate that. So with that being said, you know, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.